7 days to die. All right. Well, I had intended this episode to be a bit of a wrap up, and then I would go ahead with the day 42 Horde, but it seems to have started early. Yeah, really peculiar. And strangely enough, they're targeting that place. Which is really odd. They don't really have any reason to target that place over there. I don't know, I may have been on top of it when they first spawned. But, yeah. This series has been one that I got away from for a number of reasons, not the least of which was some computer issues that was going on at the time, and so on. I don't know, maybe this is just a wandering horde, but there's cops here. Now this series, as you can probably tell from the look of it, it was being recorded in Alpha 12.4. And I was not able to update it and keep the world because of assorted world-breaking changes and so on. And also because this world definitely is modded, so and you can probably tell I am having something of a frame rate issue now. You notice the upper right corner. That's my frame rate, 10 frames a second. Yeah. And I don't know why the Horde is coming in at this hour of the day. They're not supposed to come in until 2200, which is why I figured I would have plenty of time to do some of the talk part. Okay, that's a feral, so now that I had a second shot there and it didn't go. Oh, my weapon needs to be repaired. Oh, those buggers are tough. Yeah, there's an awful lot going on here. As you can see, I've expanded my network of bridges across the buildings. And around the main building, I have quite a network, a collection of wood spikes. Quite a lot, several hundred of them. And around the building I had put iron bars at the top. I used to have wood frames up there, but I changed it out for iron bars. Well, the spikes are definitely doing their job. There's been a bunch of them that have just wasted themselves going over the spikes. And yeah, well, since things are actually kind of blah up here, well, going in a predictable fashion, I should say, I am going to take a moment to head down. Now, up here was the first farm area that I had started, and the main part of my build, okay, I had filled this area with stone, and the entire first floor of this building has been gutted and filled with stone. And my main thing is down here. I started digging out a mine, and this was the first place I had. Have anything in here? No, I guess it doesn't matter. And then I came down here, and I went this way, digging down at an angle, get down to a decent depth, and I've got a fair amount of ore right in here in this area that I've been working on. And so that's up. I want down. There we go. Okay, my forge area. The plan originally was to include many more forges and campfires. Let's see, yeah, I was making antibiotics there, cooking here, and this pack was modded, so let's see, okay, there's steel arrowheads, and lots of, been doing lead, and I've been doing steel here. I've got a fair amount of stuff. Lots of food. Lots of food. And down here, I was setting up a underground garden. I have a shaft here. This goes to the surface on the mountain nearby the base. That's a light shaft, and it lets in enough sunlight that all of this stuff can grow down here. I've got corn, potatoes, goldenrod, and coffee growing down here. And again, my original plan was to dig over that way and over that way, put in more light shafts, and expand this place to have enough farming facility to grow all of everything I need down here. I was also going to have at least one or two of these areas that were dug with really high ceilings so that I could grow trees underground, and I'm still going to try that. So that's the most of the underground facility. I also wanted to expand this thing around. The whole idea was to take the network of rooftop bridges, which would be over time, once I got the ability to do so, reinforced with concrete and lots of iron bars and all kinds of stuff like that, so that I could travel around the entire town, this entire area here, just by traveling from rooftop to rooftop and across streets and whatnot. I started growing a tree farm here. That's what that is. And the plan was to extend it down the street and make it wider as well. And right here is that's the surface part of the light shaft for the underground garden. And this is a pretty good sized hill, and there's a hub city up there, and so on. So, a lot going on around here. I still don't get why the Horde managed to arrive like 3.5 or 4 hours early. That weird. And not only that, before this, they've always come from that direction over there. And now they're coming from the opposite direction down the street. So, really strange. I guess in the long run it doesn't matter too awfully much. Like I said, this was my main idea here for this video. This is a wrap-up. wrap-up of this series that originally started in Alpha 11.6 and has over time been updated to various versions through 12.4 when I added the Rongo mod pack. And I never got to do quite as much with that as I wanted to, because my issues that kept me off of it kind of got in the way of things. But in spite of low frame rates, I am giving this thing a shot again. I will not be continuing this series in video, however. Instead, I am starting up a new Alpha 12 point, or excuse me, Alpha 14.6 save. And what I'm going to do in that is try to implement and even complete the build idea that I started here so long ago. They're inside that house. They gotta be. Yeah, they are. Maybe I can get a view in the windows or something up here. I really didn't anticipate these. I was counting on these guys not showing up until 2200 like they're supposed to. Although most of the noise seems to be pretty well stopped. I don't suppose I can bridge that gap, can I? Nope. And with the degree of lag, I'm kind of resisting the temptation to jump across to that other roof. I'm sure I could manage. Oh, well, duh. How about just walk around instead of doing something goofy like jump across? Oh, man. But I'm not hearing any more zombie action, which is odd, given the warm welcome I received today. And 12.4 was not known for any kind of don't log out on Horde day or it'll bug the Horde kind of thing. At least not that I recall. I never had a problem with it. I could conveniently cut out on Horde day without a problem. And then log back in to actually deal with the overnight Horde. But then again, I suppose it could have been a random wandering Horde. Although I've not seen wandering hordes, random hordes, come off with ferals and cops. At least not in this save. Other than the hornets, however, I keep calling them bees, but they're hornets. Other than the hornets, there doesn't seem to be much activity going on here. So, yeah, this is pretty much what I've got going on here. That's the main base area. Bridge going over to that house. I installed that one this morning. And then this one goes over here. And this one comes over there, and then comes over to this one, and also goes over to there. That one installed this morning as well. This one has been there for quite a while, and the tree farm that I've started up there is reasonably new as well. The whole idea was to expand this network of rooftop to rooftop bridges across the entire town, and have a large sprawling base kind of thing. And then over time, the houses would all get upgraded, fortified, and in a lot of cases completely rebuilt, and in some cases completely torn down. Like those scrap metal garages. Actually, most of the garages, I think, could have been torn down. Some of the houses completely removed and in favor of having farming facilities on the surface, although the main farming is going to be underground because, that's one farm situation that you're not going to be harassed when you're dealing with it. In any event, it is 2119, and I am going to cut out and cut back in around 2200 to see if the full-blown hell-bent for leather overnight horde shows up. Alright, the foghorn sound has just sounded. It is 2200. The zombies are now running wherever they might be. However, strangely enough, there doesn't seem to be any interest in them coming here, in spite of the obvious evidence of their earlier visit. And, I'm looking down this way where the last batch came from, and I'm not seeing anything. Of course, beyond my torches, I don't think there is any way I could see much of anything, but I'm not hearing anything either. And then if I turn around here and look at the direction they usually come from, they always have come from, is ever since I first spent the first Horde night here, well, it wasn't the first Horde night, I think this was like the day 28 was the first Horde that I spent here, but the Hordes have always come from that direction. So I had a little something prepared for them down there. In front of those large number of spikes, both above the outer layer and on the ground in front of that layer, barbed wire. Not the barbed wire fence, just the barbed wire. And I had that up there because I figured, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage to them, but it slows them down so that they're going to take more damage over time going past the spikes. At least that was the theory. And of course now it seems to be raining. That would be why my frame rate has dropped even lower. But, strangely enough, there is no more in the Day 42 Horde, and I've seen some Day 42 Horde videos. There should be a whole lot more than what I had earlier. I mean, the group that showed up earlier is like the appetizer for the main course, But nothing is moving down there. Nothing at all. So, rather than make everybody watch while nothing happens, I am going to cut out, keep watch through the night, and cut in should the guests arrive for the party. Well, here we are. It is 5:30 in the morning, and there has not been the appearance of even one more zombie. As a matter of fact, even the hornets are gone, which is odd because there's almost always at least one of those little buggers buzzing around, driving me nuts, that I can hear all the way down on the bottom of my mine shaft. That's strange that they're not there. But let's have a look outside See if there is, in fact, possibly a straggler or two. But nothing. And like I said, zombies, hordes especially, have always come from that direction, from the west. But today, they came from the east. Oh. A little bit of damage there that wasn't there before. The only thing that happened overnight, really, is my trees started to grow. Oh, stepped in somebody. Oh well. Yeah, there is nothing going on out here at all. A very strange turn of events, if I do say so myself, and I do. But in any event, I guess this qualifies as perhaps a peaceful resolution to the zombie apocalypse. I killed the last of them last night, and I am now the winner. Alright, probably not. This world is probably still jam-packed with zombies if I go to the right place. If I just keep messing around, doing things like running my forges 24/7 and firing off guns and blowing things up. Oh, that's right. That was a thing, you know. I never even got a chance to use my exploding crossbow bolts in combat. I made a bunch of them. I made like 100 of them at the end of day 41, early day 42. And I did fire a few off just to see how they looked, but I never got to use them in combat. But not bad. Handy way to blow up gore blocks, and maybe a good way to take out a building. Maybe not. Alright, let's just try going through this way, just for giggles. Strange, I clicked fire 3 times. Weird. I just had to click fire, the left mouse button, 3 or 4 times. Alright, 1. Alright. Reload. 2. Yeah, it's taking quite a lot to actually get this thing to fire. Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. There isn't going to be much more of anything going on in this world. At least I don't expect to. I may play it off camera some here and there, but the series itself is at an end. Here's what I was talking about with the barbed wire. I have it on top of the first row of spikes right there, and it's on the ground in front of the first row of spikes. I think that would have done a nice job of slowing the zombies down and letting the spikes do more damage, and so on. I really was looking forward to trying that, but they didn't come from the direction they were supposed to. Strange. In any event, that's going to be it for the Alpha 12.4 series. It was good, and it could have been a whole lot better or gooder or whatever you want to say, but yeah, there were difficulties, and I'm hoping and anticipating that there won't be so much of such difficulty in Alpha 14.6. I've got to learn to stop saying 12. Yeah. And so far 14 seems to be cooperating. That's a hint. I already have a few episodes recorded, and you can expect to see those begin to appear sometime over the next few days. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I am out of here. See you in Alpha 14.6.